Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to 22 News at 4. I'm Ciara Speller. We're going to have our top 4 at 4 in just a minute. But first, let's have a look at your commuter traffic and weather with 22 News Storm Team meteorologist Brian Lapis. Brian, pretty warm out there today.
Yeah, pushing 70 in a couple of spots.
Oh, nice.
Rain is inbound, though.
Okay.
Did you bring rain gear?
Do I ever? It's not like I work for the news.
Right. Let's take a look at traffic right now. So far, we're in good shape. In fact, the Pike is running just fine, and I-91 only has some minor delays at the end of 291, the 291-91 merge. Temperatures, as I mentioned, look at this. 70 degrees right now in Great Barrington, close to it in Westfield, and mid-60s just about everywhere else. So ranging anywhere from 61 to 70 degrees as we speak. As I mentioned, there is rain that's on the way in. You can see the leading edge of it just to the west of Albany. So that'll be arriving here as we get into the evening commute, I expect. We'll track the arrival of the rain and what this means for tomorrow's weather with our 22 News Storm Team forecast.
An Amherst man pardoned for the January 6th U.S. Capitol riots has been sentenced to 2 years in prison for possession of child pornography. Court documents say a Hadley police officer recognized the suspect, Daniel Tochi, from the January 6th pictures and sent an image of him from a traffic stop to the FBI, who identified him in multiple screenshots. It was after multiple executed search warrants by the FBI that police were able to uncover over 110,000 child pornography images. The child abuse and rape collection Tochi had included children as young as 3 years old. On his laptop, police also found gruesome images and videos of bestiality and violent acts, including a woman being shot in the head, a dog being beaten to death, and a cat being killed in a blender. In Chicopee, 2 people are facing multiple gun and drug charges after police conducted a drug investigation at a house on Volpe Drive. The investigation began after officers were granted a search warrant for the residence. Officers earlier today arrested Jarrell and Mildred Mims. Both suspects have been charged with possessing B and C class drugs and ammunition without the proper authorization. Across state lines now in Connecticut, 1 person is dead and more are hurt after a 3-vehicle crash in Windsor, Connecticut. Police say the crash happened at around 2:30 Wednesday afternoon near the intersection of Route 218 and Windsor Avenue. 1 victim was pronounced dead at the scene. 7 others were brought to local hospitals. The crash remains under investigation. And in the midst of the Iran war, the Russia-Ukraine conflict enters its 5th year, and the Kremlin is undertaking a spring offensive. Russia on Tuesday fired almost 1,000 drones and 34 missiles at Ukraine in one of the war's biggest bombardments. The next day, Ukraine launched almost 400 drones in the largest reported overnight attack on Russian regions and Crimea. The Trump administration has wound down talks with Russian and Ukrainian delegations as the Iran war grips its attention. The administration has warned it could turn its back on the conflict if peace efforts come to nothing. All right, now let's have another check of the weather with Brian. You were saying rain's moving in. You have some clouds and radar up there.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of a bummer that it's going to rain, but you know what's good about this is that we don't have to talk a lot about brush fire danger when it rains at this time of year. Be careful burning outside regardless, but this rain will help kind of quench the thirst that's out there, and we are in a bit of a drought. Anyway, let's start chatting, and I'll start forecasting. All right. 348, mostly cloudy. You can see that there is some rain here off to our north and to our west on the clouds and radar. And watch as it moves on in, 5 o'clock. So beginning of the evening commute will be dry, but by the tail end, by 7 o'clock, rain will be falling. And there could be some heavy rain in here. Maybe a thunderstorm. That's unlikely, but can't rule it out. So rain will continue, we expect, through about midnight tonight. There's midnight. And then after midnight, this will gradually dry out. And our high temperatures, more than likely, I got to look a little bit more closely at this, but there are some strong indications that our high temperatures will come during the morning hours here tomorrow, and then will cool down as we go through the day. So a high temp first half of the day of 48 to 52, 46 to 50 tomorrow, and then we're cooling through the 40s even with increasing sunshine in the afternoon. It'll be breezy out of the northwest as well here tomorrow. And this is, of course, is the leading edge of cooler air for the weekend. In fact, we may not make it out of the 30s on Saturday. We'll show you on 22 News at 5.
Trending today, the Bruins got a huge win last night in overtime against the first-place Buffalo Sabres. Both teams traded goals and leads all night long until overtime, where Bruins center Pavel Zacha scored in just over 30 seconds to win the Bees. And the win gives the Bruins a cushion in the wild card. They stand 3 points above second-place Ottawa. With 10 games left until the postseason, they take on the Minnesota Wild next, who are also fighting for a playoff spot. Revolution Wind is now generating power for Connecticut and Rhode Island. The newly launched offshore wind project started delivering power to the New England grid earlier this month. The project is expected to provide power to 350,000 homes in Connecticut and Rhode Island. This follows a federal judge's reversal of the Trump administration's decision to halt multiple offshore wind projects. That also includes the Vineyard Wind project in Massachusetts. And now for a look at what we're working on for 22 News starting at 5. The National Network to End Domestic Violence released its annual service report. Tonight we'll break down those numbers and what they mean for Western Massachusetts. Plus, earlier today in Springfield, city officials stood in solidarity with librarians seeking to restore their U.S. citizenship. And we'll have their message tonight. And with the season of spring comes a rise in termite infestations. We'll tell you more about the insect and how to spot them.
Traffic right now is moving pretty smoothly for the beginning of the evening commute. Just a little bit of a backup at the end of 291 as it merges with 91. Otherwise, Pike looks good, and I-91 north of the Pike also seems to be running normally. A little bit of rain for evening errands. We'll show you when it arrives and when it gets out of here and what that means for the weekend on 22 News at 5.
All right, we thank you for joining us this afternoon for 22 News at 4. You can join us on TV starting at 5 and get all your local news and weather updates anytime on wwlp.com and the 22 News mobile app.